we're gonna do this without a mic because I'm lazy. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So this is an intro from the future, if you will. Clearly, I've already been to Portland. I've already recorded the entirety of this travel vlog, but did not record a separate intro because in the beginning, didn't think I was gonna make a separate video. I've got a dog creeping up on me. Do you want to come up here? Sadie's gonna be joining us for the beginning of this video. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. How are you? Hi, baby. Oh, hi, honey. I'm my sweet girl. Yeah, you gonna lay right there? Are you gonna lay right there? Okay, you can lay right there. Yeah, you can lay right there. Dog intermission, I guess. This is Sadie, by the way. She's the dog that was scratching at my door in the last video, and she desperately wants to hang out today. So she's gonna join me, I guess, for this intro. Can you lay down, please? Thank you. Yeah, good girl. So this week's video is going to be a travel vlog that I promised last week to Portland. So please enjoy the first part of that. And then be sure to stay tuned in for the second half of the video because we are going to be doing a book haul. Yes, I have quite a few books in here and we'll be going through them in about 15 minutes from now. So stay tuned and I'll check back in with you after the travel vlog portion of this video. Okay, today is the 13th of January. It is just after 5 o'clock and I am at DFW Airport. Gonna catch a flight to Portland to visit my friend Marjorie, who lives up there. I spent a long time packing last night, making sure I had enough clothes because it's going to be chilly up there, and the right kind of clothes because we're going to be doing some fun things, some outdoorsy things while I'm there. There's my suitcase right there. Got my backpack back there as well. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get this party started, drop my bag off, and get to my gate. I'm also going to wear a different sweatshirt because I don't want to bring the sweatshirt. See y'all in there. Bye. Okay, y'all are being propped up by my water bottle right now, but okay, let's do a fit check. So I have my Don't Be Sad sweatshirt that's like 4 sizes too big, and then black leggings, Vans, my purse, turtle backpack, and my suitcase complete with the jacket that I forgot to put in my suitcase before I closed and locked it. And I'm too lazy to put it inside. So, and my mask. The name of the game is comfort, functionality, and I guess all black, because that's where I tend to go. But people are coming, so I'm gonna leave. Bye. Okay. Checking in. Today is January 13th, Friday the 13th, and I am now in Portland. And today we have not a full agenda, but we have some things that we're doing today. First, we're going to go to Pine State Biscuits. Yes, Pine State Biscuits. And then we're going to go to Powell's Books, largest independent bookstore in the world, I believe. 68,000 square feet of retail space is what I've heard online. But I will probably be buying books, so she knows herself. Very excited for that. Then later tonight we're going to go cosmic snow tubing up on Mount Hood, which is going to be super fun. I think that's about all I need to update on, so let's get the day started and I will try my best to film some clips. And yeah, so that's it. Okay, so it's now 6 o'clock and we are getting ready to go cosmic tubing, which should be pretty fun. I got my snow pants on and my boots, all my layers. I just gotta go put my coat on and then we're gonna get going. It's like an hour and a half drive. And yeah, I'll take some clips. It's gonna be real fun. There's gonna be music, there's gonna be black lights, there's gonna be stars. It's gonna be on a mountain. Should be pretty fun. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated. But yeah, I gotta get going because we gotta stop and eat dinner first. Alrighty, good morning. Today is Saturday, January 12th. It is 9 a.m. I've just finished getting ready. Snow tubing was super fun last night. I've done snow tubing during the day, but I've never done it at night before, so that was a fun new experience. And yeah, so today we're going to go to a couple new places in Portland, or new places to me. First, we're going to a coffee shop slash art pop-up called Woodward Springs. Then we're gonna go to a little thrift center, thrift mall kind of thing called the Memory Den. And then we will go to the Portland Art Museum. So that's the plan for the day. And I'm going to take you guys along with me. So yeah, let's get this day started.
Okay, so I'm currently at the airport waiting for my flight back home, and yeah, we got to see some really cool stuff in Portland. The sign, in case you need proof that I'm actually still in Portland. Yeah, so really fun trip overall, fairly short, really only like 3.5 days in the city, but got to do a lot, got to do a little relaxing, and get to see one of my really good friends that I haven't seen in a very long time. So all in all, I'm really glad that I made this trip. I spent a lot more money than I needed to, and I bought a lot more books than I needed to. So I'm gonna have to reckon with that when I get home, and there will probably be a book haul either in this video or in another video, because I bought quite a few books, and yeah, why not share them? I mean, this is the place to do it, the place I should. So yeah, look forward to that soon. Bye.
Alrighty, welcome back. So now that you've seen a little bit of my short trip to Portland, it was pretty cold and drizzly the entire time I was there, so we didn't get to do a lot of the nature-y stuff like hiking that I had on my list, but that's perfectly okay. I can always go back in the summertime and do all of that stuff. Without further ado, let's get into the book haul portion of this vlog. So this bag is pretty full of books, not surprising. But let's just go ahead and go through them. I did not get them all at Powell's. I got a chunk at the Memory Den and a chunk at Powell's. So I'm just gonna start from what's on top in this bag, and it's going to be the stuff that I got at the Memory Den. So the Memory Den is like this giant thrift store, and I don't even remember how many different vendors are a part of the Memory Den, but each little section within the Memory Den is run by a different vendor. There was so much in there that I wanted personally. I limited myself to these books, and I did get a couple other things, but for the most part, these books are what I walked away with. And they're all used, they're all fairly old copies. Some of them don't even have like copyright dates in them. I think one of them doesn't have a copyright date in it. So I'm gonna start with the newest of the old books that I got. I was able to find 5 Agatha Christie books. Now, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but I collect these pocket-sized Agatha Christie books that are from around the 60s and 70s, and I just think that they're so cool. A lot of them have these like mail-in book club things in the middle, and I just think that's so cool. Some of them have like ads in the middle. Like one of the ones that I have has a cigarette ad in the middle of the book, which I think is so interesting. So I got 5 new to me Agatha Christie books. I got Death on the Nile, and this copy is from 1978. And I also got An Unexpected Guest, which this is an adaptation of a play by Agatha Christie called Black Coffee. I read the audio version of this book in 2022, and I thought it was so fun. I finished it in like, I think 1 sitting. I think I listened to it on a road trip like down to Galveston from Dallas. So I've already read this. I think it's so fun, and now I own a copy of it. This one was published in 2000, but the story itself, I believe, was written in like the 60s. Note to editing self, look up when Black Coffee was first published as a play. This is a super fun whodunit that all takes place in essentially one room, and again has a limited cast of characters, so you're trying to figure out who killed the scientist in this book, and it's such a fun quick read. Then I got Mrs. McGinty is Dead. This one's from 1969, and I love that it has the red edged pages, and I don't know much about this other than it is another Poirot mystery novel, so add this to the collection. Next we have Cards on the Table, another Poirot mystery novel, and this one was published in 1964, and this one also has the dyed edges of the pages. And the last one I got from the Memory Den is Crooked House, and this one was published in 1986, so this is one of the more recent ones, but yeah, and it still fits in with the aesthetic of the other ones that I have, so I went ahead and picked it up. Also, another thing that I love about these like pocket Agatha Christie books, and Agatha Christie books in general, is that they are quite cheap to get these used older editions because they were mass produced in such large numbers that I usually pick these up for like $2, something like that. I think the most I've ever paid for one is like $6, and I think that was Death on the Nile. Yeah, this one, Death on the Nile, was $6, and I think that's solely because it was just made into a movie, so it's gained popularity in recent years. So those are the 5 Agatha Christie books that I got from the Memory Den, and I got a couple more from Powell's, but we'll get into those in a second. Then I got 3 hardback books. I think that they're so cool. So I got this book of Milton's Minor Poems. I don't know if you can even see that. But it's a little tiny hardcover book. It was published in 1911 by the American Book Company. So that says to me that there weren't a lot of publishers back in 1911, but yeah, so I got this. It's a nice little hardcover book of Milton's Minor Poems. Then I got this, it's a plain red cover, but it's the poems of John Keats. And this is the one that doesn't have a publication year in it, so I don't know when it was published, but it's in really good condition, and I love this art on the inner cover. I think it's so pretty. The person whose booth this was at the Memory Den even put a little card inside of the book marking Ode to a Nightingale as their favorite John Keats poem. Thought that was super cute. The last book that I got from the Memory Den is this 1931 copy of Call of the Wild by Jack London. I do already own this book in a more recent print. I got it from Thrift Books, so it's not like I bought a new copy. I bought it from Thrift Books a couple years ago. But when I saw this 1931 version, I had to get it. It has the deckled pages, which I think is so cool. It really adds like texture to the book. But yeah, so that's the last of the books that I got from the Memory Den. Now let's get into the books that I got from Powell's. So I did get one more Agatha Christie book from Powell's, and that is Peril at End House, another one with cool red pages. This was one of the last books that I read in 2022, and I really enjoyed it. It's about the girl on the cover. Her name is Nick, which is a nickname. I forget what her actual name is, but everyone calls her Nick. And the story essentially starts out with Poirot is vacationing at this resort, and he overhears this woman talking about how she has narrowly escaped death 3 times in recent weeks. He begins to investigate because he believes that someone is trying to murder Nick. And yeah, it's a really fun story. I really enjoyed this book a lot, and I was very excited when I found it in Powell's because I do not own this one yet. The next 2 books kind of go together. They're by the same author, and I have read one of this author's books before, and that is The Great Witch of Brittany and The Age of Witches by Louisa Morgan. I have read The Secret History of Witches by Louisa Morgan, and I absolutely loved that book so much. I thought it was such a good story. The Secret History of Witches is about 5 generations of witches in the O'Shea family, and it chronicles these 5 generations of women as they learn how to wield their magic and move around in order to escape persecution from the townspeople wherever they are living, and also talks about the relationships they have to their mothers, and in turn the relationship that they then have with their daughters as we go through the 5 generations of the O'Shea family. And this one specifically, The Great Witch of Brittany, I am very excited to read because this is about the matriarch of the 5 generations of the O'Shea family. This is about Ursule, who we meet very briefly in the beginning of Secret History of Witches, and she is only in the very beginning of that book, and the story moves on to her granddaughter. And this book is all about Ursule, who I am very excited to read about. In The Secret History of Witches, she is spoken of as the most powerful witch in their family, and I am very excited to read more about the Great Witch of Brittany. The Age of Witches, though, as far as I know, is not directly related to The Secret History of Witches. I believe this is a standalone book about another group of witches. I really enjoy Louisa Morgan's writing about witches. I feel like for the most part it is quite historically accurate to the different attitudes towards witchcraft in different ages. For example, in The Secret History of Witches, because it covers 5 generations of O'Share women, the story starts in the, I believe, the late 1700s and goes all the way up to World War II. And it's really interesting to see an author really tackle such a large period of history. This book in particular, I have heard some mixed things about, but I'm still gonna give it a chance because I do enjoy Louisa Morgan's writing. Next up, and surprisingly the only thriller that I picked up during this whole excursion. Obviously I picked up the Agatha Christie mystery books, but those don't really count as thrillers. Those are more of like murder mysteries, like a whodunit kind of mystery. So I don't put them in the same category as thrillers. But yeah, so the only thriller that I picked up during this Powell's excursion was The Tenant by Catherine Endberg. I read a little synopsis that was on the shelf with this book, and it sounds really interesting. So essentially this book is about a woman who is found dead in her apartment. This takes place in Copenhagen, and from what I understand, she is a mystery writer who has written her landlady in as the murder victim in one of her recent stories. So the detectives are trying to figure out what happened to this woman and what the beef is essentially with her and her landlady. So this caught my eye. Spooky cover, spooky synopsis, a questionable murder, like all of the things that tick off my wants in a thriller. So excited to read that. Next up I got All About Love by Bell Hooks. Now this one is one of the only ones that I went in knowing that I was gonna buy, and this is also the only one I believe that I bought full price. And that is because this is going to be on my February TBR as the book club pick for the Accepted Society book club that I am part of, so I will be reading this in February. I wanted to have a physical copy so that if I feel so inclined, I can annotate it and mark it all up as I'm reading. And the last book that I got at Powell's, and the last book in this book haul, is I Am by Maggie O'Farrell. So this is the same author that wrote Hamnet, which I am currently reading, trying to finish before the end of January. And this is her memoir, and it is a collection of short stories about the 17 brushes with death that she has experienced throughout her life. And I've heard some amazing things about this book, and I can't wait to read it after I finish Hamnet and when I have the time. But like, look at this cover. Can we just take a minute to appreciate it? I usually see the cover with the gold feather on the front, but this one with the heart and the flowers and the foliage coming out of it is beautiful. I absolutely adore this cover so much. And not to say that the cover is the reason that I bought it, because I have wanted to read this even before I saw this cover, but the cover is what sold me on buying it when I saw it. Not totally just picking up the book by its cover, but the cover was a factor for sure. Also, when you go into Powell's, this is just a fun little thing to know, the Powell's bookstore is so big that they give you a map of the bookstore, and it's a doozy. Like, hello? It's a big store. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that I could literally spend hours in this bookstore. And another cute thing about this is that on the back, it's a poster. So you can also just take it with you, use it while you're in the store, and then have a cute little poster when you leave. But yeah, I thought that was so cute. And as you would have seen, I did get to go into the rare books room, and I got to look around at all the little rare books that they have, and they were really cool. I loved them so much. Nothing that I could afford in there, because they were all like first editions, $200 a piece, like pretty hefty price tag, but it was still really cool to be able to get to go in there and look at them nonetheless. So yeah, those are all of the books that I bought while I was in Portland. I now need to figure out where I'm gonna put them. My bookshelf's getting a little full. We're gonna have to do some rearranging. I may have to pack up some books and put them in storage, but we will find places for these books, I swear. And with that, that brings us to the end of this travel vlog slash book haul. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, I hope you guys have a great weekend, a great day wherever you are. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye! And do we want a little shot of the puppy? Look at her! Wow! Also, you can see that I'm wearing sweatpants. Ah! That's okay. Alright, bye!